Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Eating Good podcast. On this podcast, we go to a new restaurant every week, give it ratings, and then dive into some fun topics. My name is Sam.
I'm Oscar.
I'm
Marisol.
Oh, I'm Marisol. Sorry.
And I'm David.
Woo! If you haven't noticed, well, okay, you've
Welcome
obviously
back.
noticed. David
Sam's
is...
You were so focused on the cat. It was so funny.
Wanted to point out David is back from vacation, so
Welcome back.
welcome back. We'll definitely hear about that later.
Mm-hmm.
But it's David's turn to pick a restaurant, so take it away.
All right. So I decided to take us to Liberty Tavern. And Liberty Tavern is a popular eatery known for crab beignets, pretzels, pizza, and more, plus patio seating. So I originally picked this restaurant because I had talked to some people who were like, yo, you got to check out Liberty Tavern. It's really tasty. It's literally our go-to spot. And they're changing the menu here soon. But you have to try their crab beignets. I heard they're getting taken off the menu. So I was like, oh, yeah. I go out to restaurants with my friends. I'll go take us there and we'll try the crab beignets. This was a month ago. And they switched that menu fast, I guess. So the crab beignets were not available.
Darn.
But we made do with other appetizers and entrees. And yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later.
So, for our appetizer, we got the Water's Edge cheese curds, which were beer-battered curds with house ranch.
Yeah, buddy. They were nice and warm in the ranch.
Crispy on the outside,
Yeah.
soft on the inside.
Gooey.
Mm-hmm.
Gooey,
Cheesy.
gooey.
The ranch definitely house-made.
Mm-hmm.
Super liquidy, super delicious.
It was almost too ranchy.
Yeah, if that's even possible.
Did you say that in like a bad way? Like you didn't like it?
No, I loved it.
Okay, I did too. I
Yeah.
just wish it wasn't so liquidy.
I feel like too ranchy is a good description, but like in the good way. But if it was a little bit more ranchy, it would have been like, whoa, it's too much.
This is just delicious milk.
Yeah, like if it was creamier, just slightly less.
More viscous?
Just, is it?
I forget which way viscosity works.
I think viscous is more
Hibiscus,
solid.
like the flower?
Okay, then yeah, a little more viscous. It would have been perfect.
A little more gloopy.
Yeah.
Yeah, viscous is having a thick, sticky consistency between solid and liquid.
Yeah, I could use a little more viscousness.
Viscousness.
Yeah, the cheese curds and the ranch, great combination.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the cheese curds I feel like looked very pretty. Like
Yeah.
they looked
Classy.
like cubes. It almost looked like fancy tater tots, but it was cheese inside.
It was like they had an ice tray,
Mhm.
but for the fryer,
Yeah.
for the cheese curds.
Definitely better presentation than the ones from Club 185 because those just look like lumps of cheese they dropped into.
Like
The fryer,
turds.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cheese turds.
These ones had some shape to them. It was very aesthetic. Overall, I like them. What do you give as your ratings?
8 out of 10.
I'll go with the 8.5.
Yeah, I'll go 8.5.
I'll go 8.
I definitely think these are the best cheese curds I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't eat a lot of cheese curds.
Yeah, I was going to say, I
Yeah.
think the only other cheese curds I've really had were the Club 185 ones. So
So
I like these a little better.
Yeah, I've had them like at the fair, like at the Circleville Pumpkin Fest or whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I got some there. And I think I lean more towards like sloppy, greasy. Yeah, they're just lumps and they toss them in the fryer.
Yeah,
And
these,
what you get is what I mean, these were beautiful.
these were more
And these were cute.
artisanal.
And bigger. So I think it lend itself to getting more gooey but still maintaining like it's,
Crunch.
yeah, and like shape too.
who wants to talk about their entree?
I need to pull mine up. What you looking at, girl?
I can do mine if no one wants to go first.
Do it.
For my entree, I ordered the salmon, which was Asian glazed, included stir-fried veggies and sticky rice. The veggies included bell peppers, broccolini, mushrooms, shredded carrots. So it was a pretty good mix. I wanted this dish because there's a restaurant chain called the Rusty Bucket, which has basically the same exact kind of dish, which salmon with Asian glaze, veggies, and rice. And that's my favorite thing to get at Rusty Bucket, and we get it a lot at work. So I was hoping this was going to be a similar dish. It definitely was very similar. The Asian glaze had a very similar taste. I do wish it had more of the Asian glaze. or the salmon had a little bit more seasoning itself. It still was fine, and I actually liked the veggies probably more than the salmon because they had more flavor.
Okay.
But overall, I liked it. It was a healthy feeling option. The rice was cooked perfectly, and even though it looked kind of like a small portion, it was actually very filling. Like, I'm stuffed. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Alrighty.
I would say, going off of that, one thing I did notice is they used really large plates, so I feel like it did make the portion size seem smaller.
Yeah.
But it looked like everyone's was I was very filled.
Well, they filled out my plate.
Stuffed.
True.
Yeah,
The
your
pasta.
plate was full.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ordered the chicken fettuccine. Came with spinach, spicy tomato sauce, creamy sauce, garlic, fresh mozzarella, and chili flakes, along with some noodles.
That's the fettuccine.
Oh. Came with fettuccine. You learn something new every day.
Wait, you didn't know that fettuccine was a type of noodle?
I thought it was like Alfredo, like the sauce.
Alfredo is the sauce.
And
Yeah.
then fettuccine,
But the
is like
fettuccine
the
is-
long, flat noodles.
So that's why I
Okay.
say fettuccine Alfredo.
Gotcha. I don't cook pasta. I don't know.
He learns something new every day.
Yeah.
What other noodles do you know? Just asking.
Spaghetti.
What?
Penne.
Udon.
Okay.
What other shapes?
Which one do you think is rigatoni?
I don't know. I
Isn't
don't know
that the
what
bow
looks
tie?
like.
No, that's
I
bow
bet-
tie.
Yeah, rigatoni is like the big
Elbow?
circle, right? Like
Circle?
the longer. It's like a like
It's
a
like-
cylinder.
It's like, isn't it frilly? Wait a
Oh.
minute.
I thought
Rigatoni?
rigatoni was like the big
Oh,
cylinders.
you're right. I think it's the big cylinder.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't describe it as a cylinder.
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
see.
I love rigatoni.
Let me see.
Well, I was getting
Oh, okay.
confused with
It's
that
like-
one
Wait,
and
let
the
me see.
penne.
It's like a longer, thicker penne.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the shape of rigatoni. I love the shape of penne
Hmm.
because I like that it's like pointy on the ends.
Cut
Versus
at an
that one,
angle.
the rigatoni makes me uncomfortable because it's just like a tube. Ooh.
Well, I like it because if I like accidentally swallow it and I start choking, I can just breathe through the hole. you know?
Okay.
Okay.
Like the lifesavers.
What's a really thin one?
Angel hair.
Angel hair.
Mm-hmm.
That one's good. You know,
Linguine.
you know angel hair pasta.
Linguine.
It's like the skinnier spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah. Linguine.
Linguine slightly. It's like between spaghetti and.
I thought
Angel
linguine
hair.
is angel hair.
Oh, is it?
We need to fact check.
Where's
Whoa.
the intern when you need her?
Now that the AC
Right.
turned off, it sounds way better.
I know ravioli.
Linguine versus angel hair. Linguine and angel hair
it's
are
flat.
both long, thin pasta shapes, but linguine is flatter and
Hmm.
wider than angel hair. I guess angel hair is called capellini.
Capellini.
Oh, that explains why we like that little angel hair pasta from Kitchen Social. They call it
There's
capellini.
The black and shrimp capellini
Yeah.
at Kitchen Social. That makes sense.
I got it.
That
Okay.
shit's fire.
This is angel hair is the thinnest. Then there's linguine. Then there's spaghetti. Then there's bucatini. Then there's fettuccine.
But spaghetti and angel hair are cylindrical noodles versus the others look flat.
I think I like the flatness, so I would probably take a
Yeah.
linguine over angel hair. Maybe even
Dude,
over
I don't know.
spaghetti.
The angel hair is so good.
I like
I
the
do like a good clump of that.
tagliatelle.
No, yeah, I think I'd still take the angel hair. The flat ones are good, but
Mm-hmm.
give me the thin noodles.
I'm a
Mhm.
big flat noodle. Like I love drunken noodles because of the like, wide flat ones. But udon's also. Wide
Udon's
noodle.
so good too. It's just
Badass
weird and
noodle.
slimy. What?
It's a badass noodle.
I would say probably udon's my favorite.
Yeah.
All right, back to Oscar's pasta dish. Now that we had a brief pasta lesson.
So I ordered the chicken fettuccine. They filled my plate up. It was very filling, and kind of what Sam said with the salmon, it did give me a healthy feeling where I don't feel disgustingly full. Had like little cherry tomatoes in there, which I did not expect it. And they were like shriveled up, but they still tasted like a normal tomato.
Mm-hmm.
So that was an interesting contrast. The spinach, I really liked it. They didn't overdo it, but it was still a good amount. But it didn't blow my mind. Like, I would still prefer a chicken fettuccine from an Italian place. I'd give this one 7.5.
That's still pretty high.
Yeah, still pretty good.
Yeah, it's a safe option, but like I said, it's not going to blow your mind. Like, I'm not going to go back for the chicken fettuccine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What'd you get, Marisol?
Well, mine was definitely not healthy, and I'd feel disgustingly full. I got the fried chicken sandwich that came with a buttermilk chicken, Duke's mayo, Kaiser dill pickle, and a brioche bun.
How'd you say that?
Brioche?
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Brioche.
What did I say?
Brioche. It's almost the same.
I'm getting deja vu.
No, but last time you said brochet, so that was,
Oh, yeah.
that
was
That was a
wrong.
joke.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
The fried chicken was really good. The buttermilk chicken, I definitely can taste like how it was really crunchy. It was really delicious. The pickles were amazing.
Okay.
I don't know if I need to figure out like Kaiser pickle. I don't know what that means, but it was super delicious. The bread was really oily. So I did end up taking the top of the bread.
Yeah, I saw you didn't even eat like
Yeah.
that bun. Had like 2 bites.
It was just so oily, and I feel like it was so thick. It was unnecessary.
It was a really thick sandwich.
Yeah. So overall, it was good. Didn't blow my mind. I would have it again if I ever came back. So I'd probably give it like a 6 out of 10. The ranch, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. No, I'm giving it an 8.7 out of 10.
Okay. Too liquidy.
Too liquidy.
I guess, what do you think the chicken sandwich was lacking? Did you think it like needed more seasoning?
Maybe more sauce. I feel like it was just like the pickle, the chicken, nothing else. Maybe some like, I don't know. Maybe like a tomato, some lettuce.
My bad.
Maybe more sauce.
Okay. I was just curious if like lack of seasoning seemed like a trend, but maybe not.
No, the chicken itself was really good, but it was just like, I feel like that's all I tasted. Nothing else.
Okay. David.
I went with the Our cheesesteak, OUR. I was going to ask what the abbreviation meant, but I didn't, so here we are. Also, my menu disappeared. But the cheesesteak was composed of sliced ribeye, pickled jalapenos, bell peppers, caramelized onion, house cheese dip, horseradish cream, and on a hoagie bun. It came with fries, but I decided to get I think they were called like smash spuds. And so they were just, smash spuds. So they were like, if you cut a potato in like little, like medallions.
And then smash them.
Yeah, smash them.
I feel like that's a big trend right now from TikTok recipes.
Mm-hmm. And I had a roommate in Boston who used to cook a lot. And he would make them smash buds. Oh no, actually, I think in Spain, my host mom would make them that way too. And they were the best. So, I mean, these ones weren't as good as that. But these were really tasty. I'm glad I did go with them. And it was only like a $2 upcharge. So if I go back, I'll definitely do that. I will say, they didn't mention what the aioli was on this description, but it also came with an aioli for the potatoes. And that was like spicy and like a little thicker than like a mayonnaise. It was good. It was
thick.
tasty. Like definitely thicker than the ranch.
For sure.
And then the little, I thought it was like whiz, but their like homemade cheese sauce was good. But I wish I would have drizzled it all on the sandwich, because after a while, since I was taking my time eating it, like,
It congealed.
yeah, I congealed a little bit. But it was really tasty. I think all the flavors balanced together well. I'm not the biggest like cheesesteak guy. Like, I don't know what makes a good or a bad cheesesteak. All I know is this one tasted really tasty. I could see myself ordering it again if I'm ever in the mood for a cheesesteak. And I think it was the perfect amount, because it wasn't like as big as like a Subway sandwich full of things. That would have made me full if I ate the whole thing. It was a little skinnier. It was the perfect portion. And I think with everything, I feel comfortable. Even though it's not a healthy food, I don't feel like, oh, I'm so tired, I need to sleep. So I could see myself even getting that for lunch or something. All to say, I'll probably give it like an 8.5. I enjoyed it. And yeah.
Yeah, it is funny that your sandwich was very long but skinny.
Yeah. As I think that's the first time I've ever seen a hoagie bun in that cut and shape. But I was like, okay, let's give it a good go.
It was a breadstick.
Yeah, and I think that
Yes, like
it
imagine
really
a
was.
really long breadstick cut into a sandwich.
But that I liked it because it kept it like crispy on the outside, not overly crispy, but slightly toasted, and it wasn't overly bready too. So I think it let the meat speak for itself. And I didn't know horseradish cream was on it. I'm not against horseradish cream, and I didn't like pick it out as like, wow, that's a strong flavor. So I think all of it as it comes blended really well.
There's a reason they put that as the last ingredient on the menu.
Why? So the eyes gravitate towards it, or
So like you might miss it. And then like there's horseradish.
Oh, that would suck though if they sent it back. I'm like, dang it, just because you don't like horseradish.
It's a strong taste for sure.
Oh yeah,
Not
for
a fan.
I feel like I can be a fan if it's, like you said, balances in the meal. If it's like not too strong of a flavor on its own.
Yeah, I think horseradish goes really well with steak sandwiches as long as you only have like a drizzle, like not overdoing it.
Yeah, it was like a light schmear. I thought it was almost like butter or something because it was just like such a light little thing.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they knew their ratios.
All right. Well, the last thing we ordered was a dessert. We got the gooey butter cake, which included seasonal berries, vanilla bean ice cream, and whipped cream. The seasonal berries appeared to be some sort of blueberry compote that was drizzled all over the top. The butter cake came out nice and warm, whereas the ice cream was nice and cold.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you guys think?
I think they may have overcooked it a little bit. Just a tad bit, because it was like chewy and a little hard.
I really like that. I like that it had the crunch with the softness. Because the inside was warm, so get a nice warm feeling. But I definitely, to me at least, tasted like a waffle.
A waffle?
Yeah.
Who ordered a handsome man on DoorDash? Little delivery. Ross just walked in the door.
Hello.
My fiance's here.
Are you playing soccer?
How we doing?
Good, how are you? How's your
Not too
weekend?
shabby. Oh, it was great.
Hello.
Thank you,
I
boy.
don't know how to tap up. I'm not good at it.
Wait, I want to see you do it again.
No.
Dab him up. Dab him up. Oh, that's not bad.
That was the
You got a good
girliest
I
foundation.
was so stressed. That was so stressful. I thought you had to do a fist bump.
That's a little extra. That's if you're feeling a little extravagant.
She
You
goes
add
like,
a little. And if you really want to put the cherry on top, you can hit him with a little snap after.
Yeah.
My automatic instinct is to snap, and every time I do it, the other person snaps, but like 2 seconds later.
They like mirror you.
Yeah. Should I continue where I was?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Were you talking?
Oh, he said he liked the crustiness. No, okay. Okay, that sounded
He
bad.
said he's crusty.
Crunchy.
It had a crust. It had a crust.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting at.
Well, yeah, I had a bite, and I thought this tastes familiar. And then I had a second bite, and I couldn't put my tongue like.
We had to stop him from putting his whole tongue on the whole cake.
Your finger on it.
Yeah.
I can't stop. My mouth is just making noises.
And then on the third bite, I thought this tastes like a waffle to me. But I liked it. I did like that the whipped cream you guys mentioned sounded homemade. Or tasted homemade.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care.
Bro, your senses are all off today.
It sounded homemade.
I just felt like the cake sounded really good.
I liked it.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with Marisol that I think that was slightly overcooked. And I'm guessing they have it pre-baked, and then when someone orders it, they heat it up.
Yeah.
So
In like a
Probably.
tray, because it looked like it was almost called like a brownie, you know?
Yeah, so like inherently, it's probably gonna end up a little overcooked.
Yeah. I mean, it still tasted good. It's just
Yeah.
not butter cake. It's
Flavor-
just
It's like
cake.
gooey.
The flavor
Oh,
was
yeah.
still good, but it
Uh-huh.
was thicker. I mean, a butter cake can be thick, but it wasn't as soft as it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
It was like toast.
Yes.
Not toast, but
Not as crunchy, but
But like that shape, yeah, because I feel like gooey butter cakes can be taller. Or like, have we had ones that were like circular?
yes, from Kitchen Social, like that one is taller. So I think it also helps keep the moisture
The
inside
gooey.
of it versus like this one was flat like a brownie. And yeah, so I think once you reheat it, it gets it's easier to lose the moisture because it's shorter in stature.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I would agree. It was, just normally I'm the guy who's like, I want it crispier on everything. But this is the one time I wanted it a little more gooier because I just can't forget the Mitchell's Fish Market one.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
That one I think also was like a
good.
tall cylindrical one kind of, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, I
And
think
that
so.
one was so ooey gooey.
Would you call Mitchell's restaurant bougie though?
I mean, it's bougier than a typical restaurant, but not as bougie as like a steakhouse.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
like a step above Red Lobster. But it's
Several steps
Yeah.
above Red Lobster.
but it's not like
That's what I might choose next.
Red Lobster.
hey,
I've never been.
Me neither.
I
Oh,
like
we
Red
should go.
Lobster.
I've only
I
been
hear
a
they
couple
got good
times.
biscuits.
I heard
Their
they got good
biscuits
No,
are so
biscuits.
their biscuits are fire.
I always take some to go. I'm like, make me another batch, please.
Similar with the Olive Garden.
Yeah, bring me a bag of
Breadsticks.
Where was it? Villanova?
Yeah, Villanova.
He's like, how many can you get?
And then you didn't even eat them.
Yeah.
Oh, why didn't I eat them?
No.
Did I
You,
forget?
you
You
left
forgot
them in the fridge.
Shit. That's unfortunate. I need to go back and get some
Anyways.
breadsticks. Yeah, it was still tasty. I don't know if I'd order it again, maybe from this specific location,
Right.
but I'm glad I tried it. I think the berry compote, and my favorite part was the homemade whipped cream. It had like a more cream color to it, so I'm like, maybe it's got a little vanilla bean, French vanilla or something in there. That was pretty tasty.
Yeah. You mentioned the berry compote. I thought it had too much of it,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I wish it just had fresh berries instead, or like a little bit of the compote but fresh berries, versus it just was like a huge glob of the compote
Mm-hmm.
all over it and you couldn't really like avoid it.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of prefer that they had put it on the side or like had a dipping cup for it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's
Or
that's
just like on the plate.
they like
you know?
covered the exact, yeah, because they covered the whole thing. You couldn't get a bite without getting the berry compote, really.
Unless you let Oscar put his tongue on it first and lick out all the berry compote out.
All right, ratings.
7 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
6 as well.
6 out of 10.
Ay, Dios mío.
7.
Yeah. Someone change him.
Speaking of scary movies, The Conjuring's coming out this October.
A new
There's
one?
another one?
Yeah. We all got to see it in the movie theater.
I don't have
Mhm.
high hopes. I saw The Conjuring 2 and I remember I fell asleep because it was so
What?
boring.
Dang.
You are the devil, Oscar.
The Conjuring first one was really good.
What is
Yeah,
the
it
first one?
was.
How does it go?
Is that the base where she's like in the basement?
Yeah.
We
I don't know if
watched
I've
it.
seen- Oh, did we?
Well, I don't know if you were there,
Hmm.
but I think we watched it at my house once.
We watched one of them.
Yeah,
It was
well,
the first one.
Yeah.
at my house.
Yeah.
It kind of rings a bell. I'll have to look at a trailer and see if I've seen it. But
Dude, I've seen that movie like 5 times.
why?
It
Oh,
just
you like it?
comes up all
Oh.
the time.
What about Annabelle? Do you like Annabelle?
I remember I liked it, but I don't remember what happened.
Well, now I don't know if I believe these movies now that, well, the movie's based on the husband and wife. I don't know what their names are.
I mean, they're based on true stories,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean they made it on the same
Yeah.
Yeah,
story.
they dramatize it.
Yeah.
It
No, I know,
mean-
but the people, the ghost hunters or whatever, they're like
It's like
real people.
Lorraine.
Yeah, they're
and,
based on real
Lorraine and
people.
something. Yeah.
It's not a biography. It's
They're-
just based on that.
It's based on real people, but it doesn't mean all the events are accurate.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, their son came out with a documentary exposing them.
It's Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Ed and Lorraine.
Damn, she's old as heck.
Is she still alive?
Oh wait, no, she died
Okay.
in 2019. She 92 years old.
Dang.
Damn.
She's the one who owned the Annabelle.
Oh, the good die young.
Well,
Or she would just
didn't
chase
own her.
the-
No, like she had that room full of like haunted items and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was the medium or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you guys are talking about that room of memorabilia, haunted things, I think I did see that with you guys.
Because that one starts where they talk about the Annabelle doll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're like in a classroom lecturing, like, oh, the doll wasn't actually possessed. It was a demon. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
You said their son?
Yeah.
I don't think they have a son.
They had a daughter in the movie.
Yeah, Judy Warren.
But I think it was a guy. Excuse me 1 second.
Maybe a grandson.
Maybe.
Not that it matters. That's crazy. You're such a big hater if you're going to come out after they died and say all of it was fake.
Well, I would go to the movies to see the new one.
True.
Yeah, but Sam's gonna be like,
Okay, let me cover my eyes.
no,
I'll
that's
just
no
I'll
fun.
No.
peek through them.
We have to bird box you and like open your eyelids.
No.
Look at the light. Look at the light. We missed Smile too. We went to see Smile 1 in theaters, and then I guess they came out. Did they come out with this?
They
And I
did.
heard- and I
Have
heard
you guys
it's-
seen that?
I heard it's good.
Oh, it's good?
It's creepy as hell.
saw it?
I saw
You think
it.
it's scarier than the first one?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I don't want to watch it then.
Damn, didn't
It was
invite us.
creepy. I don't know when I went, but it was creepy. It's like scary, then it's creepy, then it's weird. All in that order.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll watch it eventually on a nice sunny day with the lights on.
Blinds ripped open.
Yeah. Birds chirping. That wraps up the restaurant. Right?
Wait, would y'all go back?
I would go back if I was invited there. I probably wouldn't go.
Like
out of
happy
my
hour?
way.
Like literally out of your window.
Same
Fair.
as Sam.
I did see they have a couple of fun happy hour deals and Wine Wednesday, half off bottles of wine. I'm like, okay. I just need people to get a bottle of wine with.
Yeah, I'm not driving up there for happy hour.
That's fair.
If they bring back the crab beignets, I'll be there.
We'll keep a finger on the pulse. And if they bring them back, even for a special, I will let us know.
Perfect.
I feel like they'll have them back, especially if it was like popular.
Yeah, I asked for them. I think some other people, I'm sure people have been asking for them. And it's on their Google info. They're
Yeah.
known for the crab beignets.
and on their Yelp too. That's like popular
main
dishes.
thing?
The crab beignets is the top one.
Well, let's hope the people speak up. Get us our crab beignets back.
That is crazy. Like if you're gonna change your menu, you'd think you'd still keep the most popular thing the same.
Yeah. And it's like the person that's telling me about them is like, I think they just got to rebrand them because I feel like a lot of people don't know what a beignet is. Also, I look at the photo, I'm like, that doesn't strike me as a beignet. She's
Yeah,
like, they should call them crab balls and like they'd be
Crab
fine.
cakes,
And
Well,
it's
crab
like,
cake's
yeah.
a little different, but it's
Oh.
like crab.
biscuits,
They almost look like
biscuit, crab
takoyaki,
ball. Yeah,
like, but just with crab.
crab balls.
but yeah, I agree. Beignet is probably not the best word because I think of beignets as like a dessert now.
Yeah, or like, yeah, the little bread things, you know,
Mhm.
like almost a donut. And those they look like
Crab bread.
Like Hot Pockets or
or what are the
Pop Tarts.
No, they
But-
look like little ball fucking ¿Cómo se llamaban? In Spain, those little balls that were
Croquette.
croquettes. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're-
they could
you're
call them
saying-
crab croquette.
Oh, you're saying the crab one? Okay, yeah. Beignets look like Hot Pockets. But
Yes.
the crab beignet that this is referring to
Mhm.
looks like a croquette.
Yes. And honestly, that has a ring to it. CRCR.
I agree.
Crab croquette.
This is why we need to be consultants for
For
all these
real.
restaurants that we visit. We always have good suggestions.
And all they have to do is give us like a tab and we can taste a bunch of stuff and be like, okay,
yeah,
we got some feedback.
just put a little sign that says "Listen to Eating Good Podcast" and on the tables or something,
Mhm.
and then we get more listeners.
We get stickers and put them on all of our seats. And be like, listen to
Oh,
us.
we should.
That'd be cool.
This
Just stick
restaurant
'em
was
around
rated
town.
by
But-
the Eating Good Pod.
I get stressed when I know that the people that work at the restaurant listen to the episode.
Yes, that
Like
is,
when
that
we
is a
made
funny thought.
the Chapman's
Mhm.
episode or the Bonifacio episode, like
They loved
they
it.
for a fact listened to the pod because then they sent us a message or posted on their story. Luckily we had good things to say
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they were really good restaurants. Imagine if Arby's listened to the pod. They would not be happy.
Mr. Hero did not listen
They
to
did not
us.
listen.
No, but they gave us a gift card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that.
Frisch's big boy did not listen to the pod.
Aren't they closing?
They closed the last Columbus location, I think.
What?
Damn.
They're-
Well, at least we hit it before.
Yeah, I think the Cincy location still exists, but I don't think there's any left in Columbus.
I'm sad like I go there every week.
Right, you go there on your way to
I
and
go
from
there
Cincinnati.
like I go there like once a year. Still, every so often.
Now it's not as accessible.
Yeah.
Not even an option.
I got to think about it when you go back to Cincinnati.
That's sad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Whenever she said she would get it, it was because she was coming back from Cincinnati. So it's like
Mm.
you would just pick it up.
You don't know me, Oscar.
You told me. I lived with you
Wow, I forgot we did all live
Yeah.
together.
Was it like 1 or 2 years?
too.
2 years. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm jealous. That must have been so fun.
It was pretty fun.
was
Big old
nice.
house full of people.
It was Sam, Marisol, Emma,
Niha?
Jocelyn,
Jocelyn.
Your favorite roommate, the other one.
he who shall not be named.
Yeah.
Satan Spawn?
No, it was fun.
Don't get Oscar started.
Moving on.
Anyways.
It's finally time for our favorite segment.
Guess that movie. So this week it's my turn to do Guess That Movie. I will be reading a movie description and everyone else will try to guess what movie I'm describing. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
All right. A young boy with unnatural superpowers travels to the spirit world where he gets trapped for months. His family, unaware of his powers, enlists the help of a psychic who reveals that the boy's father has the same powers. The father travels to the spirit world to look for his son. Ultimately, the father is able to rescue his son but gets trapped himself. So I got a few guesses. David said Sky High. No.
Just based off the
I feel
first
like
sentence,
that's
something about his
always
dad.
our guess.
You guessed
Marisol.
Sky High last week for
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Marisol guessed Black Panther. Crazy, but
That
no.
is a wild guess. What? Wait, did anybody get it right?
Nope.
I didn't
Okay.
guess yet, so that's why.
Yeah, could you read it one more
I
time?
actually don't know what it is. This is
I stopped listening when I was like, I hope this is Sky High.
All right. A young boy with unnatural superpowers travels to the spirit world where he gets trapped for months. His family, unaware of his powers, enlists the help of a psychic who reveals that the boy's father has the same powers. The father travels to the spirit world to look for his son. Ultimately, the father is able to rescue his son but gets trapped himself. Sam guessed The Book of Life. David got it.
Oh,
and Marisol
okay.
got it.
Okay. I was just thinking about this.
I'm just a slow typer. That's why
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
get the
yeah.
first.
They both came in at 909, so.
Which ones?
They
I
were
mean,
both-
David shows first.
No, because you read it first. Because you're sexist.
His
And you
name
hate
is literally
women.
below yours.
You hate women.
My phone's sexist, okay? Not me.
Okay.
I'll
How
give-
dare you guys?
She probably hasn't seen it.
She's seen
Nah.
it.
She has?
We've all seen it
Mhm.
together, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Together.
really?
I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Never mind.
What?
Dang, it must suck to be the last one of it.
Yeah, I
You
know.
don't-
Cacadoodle.
Quiere llorar. Quiere llorar.
You want a hint?
Yeah.
It's a horror movie.
Insidious.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Through
go.
the roses.
Because the way the movie
Oh.
ends is the dad rescues the son, but then he kills the psychic because the demon that was trying to get the father, when the father was a
Yeah.
kid, gets to him.
What a great plot that movie has.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Wait, I don't remember the son getting like.
Well, the son, remember, he was like flying in his sleep, but then
Yeah.
his body didn't find his spirit didn't find its way back to his body. So
Yeah.
he was like in a coma.
Because he thought his dreams were like, or when he was traveling out of his body, he
was-
thought
he
they were
was dreaming.
dreams.
Yeah. He was like astral projecting,
Exactly.
but he thought it
Correct.
was just a dream.
Exactly.
I need to rewatch that because I don't remember
It
the
was
plot.
so good.
I
I
do-
need to rewatch that.
I do remember the dad going into the realm, I guess, and then being possessed, and that's like the cliffhanger. Is like,
Yeah.
that's not the dad in there.
Yeah.
I also haven't seen the sequel, so don't tell me.
Yeah, how many of those are there?
There's,
Is there a couple?
I think there's at least 3,
Sequels?
maybe 2.
Oh, so like 3 total movies.
I think
I
there's
think
3
so.
total movies.
Damn, I gotta catch up.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I think
that's
there
the
may
thing
be
with-
more.
With these horror movies, it is funny where it's like, oh, The Conjuring. I feel like that just came out 10 years ago, and then it's like, oh, now
Yeah.
there's like 8 of them, like 7 or 8
Yeah.
of them.
I'm also like,
How much deeper can you get?
yeah, like I think part 1 and a part 2, but like, don't make more than 3.
No.
Well,
That's
with-
way too many.
With Ed and Lorraine, I feel like it makes sense because
Okay,
they go
yeah.
through the items in their closet or
yeah,
whatever.
that,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
they're-
So
that
they have
works.
different stories.
that makes more sense, I guess, because it's like Annabelle.
yeah,
The
Annabelle doesn't
Conjuring,
make sense.
Like they're different, I guess,
Mhm.
Yeah.
stories. But like Insidious 2, Insidious 3. I don't know.
Or all the paranormal activities. Isn't there like
Mhm.
7 of them or something?
Yeah.
Or like Saw.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that was
So,
just really sadistic.
What about
and
Fast
gory.
and Furious?
Yeah, that's way too many.
It's my favorite scary
It's
movie
like
series.
the first one's always good, and then the second one, fine, it's good. But after that, you don't need to be doing this. Like,
Mhm.
oh, the first 2 were so good, we just got to keep making them.
Goodness forbid the third one does like really well, and they're like, oh yeah, we just got to deal for 4 more movies. We're chilling.
You know they keep making Final Destination movies. Like I think a new one's about to come out.
Bruh.
They've got to be on like 13 or something.
I've only seen the
something
first
like
one.
that.
I've
Really?
never seen any
I
of them.
don't think I have either. Just the
They're-
clips.
It's pretty like I wouldn't say it's like amazing, but it's like pretty cool to watch.
It's
I
a
guess.
good idea, cool idea.
Yeah, outrun death.
Yeah.
Well, because the plot is the guy has a premonition that the plane is going to crash. So he freaks out, and then his whole classroom doesn't get on the plane because of it, and the plane does crash.
Dang.
And so then death basically tries to kill them each, like in
It
order.
catches up to
because
you.
they
Yeah.
avoided death
Yeah.
that they were
Yeah.
supposed to face.
Correct.
And so like if they're able to avoid the instant that's like trying to kill them, then it moves on to the next person. Or if they die, it just moves on to the next person. So it's
Mhm.
like death is trying to kill them
Mhm.
one at a time.
And this isn't a scary movie?
It's a thriller.
It's like suspenseful.
Yeah.
Sounds scary.
Not really. It's just gory and suspenseful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good one.
No, I was trying to find movies because we've done so many, and I'm like, oh, I know we've all seen this movie, but I don't know if we'll remember the plot. At least the way I described it.
Yeah. It is funny that we just happen to be talking about horror movies
Yeah.
I was
right
about to say,
before.
like, you were probably freaking
I
out that we were
was.
talking about horror
so no one
movies.
mentioned Insidious.
I'm
No
like,
one mentioned
no,
Insidious.
even you guys mentioning The Conjuring, I'm like, fuck,
That's too
that already
close.
gives
It's
them,
too
I
that
know.
already gives them a leg
I
up.
thought about that because I was like, I think it's Insidious. That's why we were just talking about it.
I'm like, what are the chances?
It'd be like that.
Bruh, I said the Book of Life. They
I
said
said
Sky
Sky
High.
High.
Better go say Black Panther.
That's
Okay, yeah. Somehow they each got worse.
I don't know.
Like, that's almost worse than Titanic.
It's a different world.
Black Panther is in a different world.
Are we sure?
It's in Africa.
Africa's in our world.
I'm done.
Oh. Well,
That wraps up Guess That Movie. Now that David's back, let's hear a little bit about his vacation. Remind us where you went.
Yes, so I was gone for about like 10 days. Essentially, it was the first part of the trip was like 3 or 4 nights in Mérida, which is in the Yucatan. So like really close to Belize, so southern part of Mexico. It's really hot and it's landlocked, at least the area we were in, but it's just like very ancient. Yeah, very ancient. It's just kind of like a strong Spanish architecture, like that kind of culture presence to it. So it just feels like you're transported to the past, a different world. It was pretty much just like hanging out, a little bit of history and stuff like that, trying to like get to know the city, just because it's like we used to go to Mexico a lot when I was growing up, but it would just be to León, Guanajuato, which is where my parents are from. So it's cool seeing a different part of Mexico. From there, we made sure to hit Chichen Itza. So my dad's a real big history and geography guy, and I like traveling with him because he plans everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the big kick thing, the thing that he was on, he really likes the past Mexican president. He liked that they would like he would do like daily talks every day, give like updates every day and stuff like that. But one of his big last projects before he left was El Tren Maya. So like it'd be like a train that connected just like a lot of the cities in the Mayan area. So like Chichen Itza was one. They would like take you to Cancun and like all those like little areas and stuff. And so I was like, dang, my dad's really into trains. Is he? Never mind.
what?
You know, they say, never mind. You know, they say like autistic people are into trains.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's-
okay.
Oh.
But I was like, he used to really talk about these trains a lot. And I was like, oh no, that's fine.
He developed autism in his
He's like, I
50s.
really like trains. But we didn't end up riding the train just because it was like way more expensive and it was like also less convenient. He was a little bummed about that, but we did get to stay in the hotel, a brand new hotel. It's like a nice little luxury hotel, just built 4 months ago. So like brand spanking new. And since it's so new, and there was probably 10 guests in like the whole hotel because
What?
we were the only ones in the pool.
Okay. Technical difficulties. I guess as quick background, our soundboard, we forgot the charger, so we put some batteries in it, and it drank up all that juice and died mid-conversation. But we're gonna try to record the rest of the podcast with a new set of batteries and hope that we make it through to the end. But if we get close to the end and the podcast just ends and there's no goodbyes, that's why. But let's get back to
Mexico.
David. You were talking about also.
Yeah.
It's so weird now that we're not wearing headphones.
Uh-huh.
We unplugged our headphones to try to conserve battery life. But okay, I had a question. You said you
Mhm.
were at the hotel and you think there was only like 10 people there?
It felt like it, dude. There was when we would go to the restaurant, there was no one in there. Like when we were there for one night, to be fair. But yeah, it was just like in the common areas, like there was like hardly anyone there. It was just like you would see people when they were checking out, and I probably only saw like 5 different sets of people.
Was it scary how empty it was?
A little bit, but it also kind of felt like, dang, it feels like we rented the place out. Like, we're celebrities. We get the whole thing to ourselves. But everyone, like hospitality wise, was so nice, just in all of Mexico. But there, like people would chat us up. They'd ask if we wanted drinks and stuff. But I don't know. People just seem so genuine from that area.
Okay.
So it was cool just meeting, talking to them, getting to know their story. And then from there, went to Cancun, and then that was like, I'm glad we did it in that order where it was like kind of the more history and then the exploration at Chichen Itza. We did a guided tour at Chichen Itza. That was really nice because my dad almost was like, I don't know if I want to do a guided tour. I'm like, that's like how we learn everything. It's like they don't have like signs and stuff anywhere. I was like, when we went to Machu Picchu, I was like, having the guided tour was nice because they told us all the culture, the history, the stories.
And you just have to follow them.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, you can ask questions. And this guy was really funny. He was really cool. And yeah, just Chichen Itza is cool. Just all the different math and architecture that goes into it was nice.
How did Chichen Itza as a wonder of the world compare to like Machu Picchu or any others that you've seen?
I think I liked Machu Picchu better just because it was like more expansive. It was like in the mountains. Where this was like one of the things was like it was kind of hidden. The reason it didn't get destroyed is because like the Spanish never found it.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like flat land. It was the Chichen Itza, like the pyramid. Then there was just like other kind of little ruins around it. And then there was like the little area where they would play that like soccer game with like the little hoops and stuff. And so they told us a story about that.
Wasn't that similar in Peru? Or no? Do they have the hoop game there?
I think they just played like hockey with
Heads.
the heads.
Yeah.
This was
maybe
like that
I'm just
when they
thinking
do, like-
of El Dorado. Where
I was like,
it's
I
that
think you're
game.
thinking of El Dorado.
But El Dorado is likely in like Peru. I
Yeah.
think. So
So
Well, yeah,
maybe.
I guess the Mayans, since it was like the Mayans, is probably, was it the
Well,
Mayans in Peru?
Because I think
No,
No,
the
the
mines are in
Inca.
Peru.
The Inca, right?
the Mayans are in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yes.
Incas
But like
are-
Yucatan.
Mexico, Central America, I feel like, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like
'Cause the
towards the
Aztecs are-
south.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Aztecs are more north.
Yeah, because the Mayans are more, like in the more jungled area, which is
Mhm.
why they couldn't find a lot of the ruins.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think even in El Dorado, it's in Central America because the Spanish explorer is Cortez, and Cortez is the one that traveled Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, the guided tour was nice. I mean, I'm definitely glad I checked it off the list. Now I just got to focus on the other wonders. But it's definitely, obviously, clearly worth checking out. But I just felt like, I don't know, being in Machu Picchu was so different, so new. It felt like a very otherworldly. Whereas this one was, I don't know. Also, you saw a lot more tourists since it was just like flat land and you were all kind of in
Yeah.
the same area. So I feel like, yeah, Machu Picchu kind of transported you to, yeah.
Machu
It just
Picchu's
felt more
like,
immersive.
yeah, and it's like a whole city.
Yeah, exactly.
Chichen Itza is just the one pyramid.
So it's a pyramid and there's some other like little locations at observatories and like little stuff like that. But also we didn't go till like later in the day and they were only open till like 4 or 5. It was probably for the better just because I know like Miguel probably didn't want to be walking around and all day and stuff like that. So it was just so hot too.
Yeah.
So it was like we could only be out there for so long before it's like, holy shit.
Did he have his fresh kicks on?
Huh?
Did he have his fresh kicks
Yeah,
on?
he had some fresh kicks. Well,
Hell yeah.
I gave him some Jordans. He had some fresh kicks on. But he kept saying the whole trip, he's like, I think I might just like give these to someone in Mexico. He's like, just so like they'll really like. I was like, dang, Miguel, you're gonna give away my gift. He's like, I just want to make someone happy and just give him shoes because I think when last time they went to Mexico, they would like leave clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's got the idea in his head. I was
But
like,
so
dang,
nice
Miguel.
of him.
Or do you think he didn't
I don't
like
think he
them?
likes.
Damn.
It's fine. It's fine.
I remember the last time I went to Mexico, I had some new Nikes,
Uh-huh.
and people were trying to buy them. They're like, how much will you sell me those shoes for? They're like, what shoe size are you? They're like, I'll buy them.
So yeah, we did that, and then did the exploration history, and then ended with just beach relaxation.
Yeah,
in
that's
Cancun.
definitely the good order because it's like now the last couple of days you got nothing to do but lay on the beach.
Yeah, eat good food,
Swim.
drink some
Yeah.
beers. And then we also did an Airbnb there too.
In Cancun?
In Cancun, yeah. We didn't do like all inclusive. We were all kind of just doing our own thing. But that was nice too because we just got to bop around. We checked out a couple different beaches, but we found one that was just kind of like chill. Las Tortugas.
So since you did an Airbnb, were you guys like eating out at restaurants and not at a resort?
Yeah. So we would eat out. We went to the grocery store like one of the first days. So like if there's just like a random time we didn't feel like leaving the house, we just make like sandwiches or other stuff like that. But we were in like the hotel zone, so we were still around everything. And at night, one night, we went to like Cocobongo and like that whole little strip and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was fun to see that.
Well, I feel like that's pretty nice because resort food is never that good, I would say.
And then you feel like tied, like
yeah,
I already
but
paid
like,
for it.
You feel like you have to eat the resort food because it is part of the all-inclusive and you want to get your money's worth. But that's, I guess I never thought of doing an Airbnb at a place like Cancun because there's so many resorts, but that's pretty cool because then you do get to try restaurants and you do get to try better food.
Yeah, you know, like feel, like tied to one thing. I still want to, because I've never done an all-inclusive yet, but I do want to do it at one point, but I'm glad we did it this way for this trip. Especially just like my immediate family, we're all just hanging out, doing our own thing. And my parents like to cook it up sometimes.
So, this is a question I told you to prepare for.
Yeah, I did think about it.
What was your favorite thing that you ate on your whole trip?
My favorite overall was actually in Merida. It was this restaurant called, I guess shortened, it's called Mugi. In English, it's the Museum of Yucateca Gastronomy. So in Spanish, it was like El Museo de la Gastronomía Yucateca or whatever. And we actually had, my dad will sometimes just watch like food influencers in like different parts of the world or in Mexico.
Does he watch Guga too?
He doesn't watch Guga. But I bet you if I got him to watch some, he would, because he does like cooking steaks. But yeah, we watched this one video of the guy in Merida, and he went to this museum thing. And the cool thing they do is if you go around 3 p.m., that's when they pull one of the main dishes from there is called cochinita pibil, and it's like a pork in like a citric marinade, and I think traditionally they cook it underground, like in these underground furnaces type thing. And so at 3 p.m. they like brush it off, unveil them. They're like, it's all wrapped in like banana leaves and stuff. And if you're already dining there, they're like, oh, come, we're doing the little showcase now. You get to like see them undo it. They do a little kind of talking tour, and you get a little sample of it.
Nice.
In like a little taco or in like a little like cupcake little paper thing. I snuck in it, and I got both. So I got a little taco and I got a little extra meat, and it was just so good, for like fresh out the ground. And like so much so that Miguel inside ended up ordering that. But I ordered their special, which was called, I think it's pronounced Tiquinchic, and it's the same idea. It's a Yucatecan Mayan food, and it means dry fin. It's a fish dish prepared Yucatan style, and I think essentially it's just like the adobo de achiote, the sour orange marinade, wrap it up in the banana leaves, and then in the earth oven. So same way as the cochinita pibil, but just with fish. And so I had tried the cochinita at other places, and I was like, I want to mix it up and try the fish version, and it was so good. And just everything everyone got at the table, because we were all just sharing. My parents got like essentially their sampler, which had like 4 different dishes of the traditional Yucatecan food with tortillas, and they had really good cocktails. I just really love agua de Jamaica, and that with like mezcal adds like a smoky element, and they were called mezcalitas. And so I've just been thinking about them. They like garnish it with a little steeped hibiscus flower, and it was just so good. I just love hibiscus. I will say one of our last meals in Cancun, we went to this like little restaurant, and I also got grilled octopus there. And I feel like I've never just ordered grilled octopus.
I love grilled octopus.
And it was so tasty too. So lots of great food. I mean, we hit a bunch of taco stands, just like late night we'd be like. And yeah, just the food overall was great. Food, vibes, family.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sounds like a good time.
Oh yeah. And caught a lot of sun, so I'm dark as hell. I'm wearing a brown shirt, and it literally almost
Blends
matches
right
in.
in.
They almost didn't serve me at Liberty Tavern. They're like, no shoes, no shirt, no service.
I thought you were gonna say because you were brown.
Well, yeah, they saw no shirt on me. Oh,
just like racist.
We don't like
They're
our
not
crown.
racist.
Right?
They're
No. They're
they
not
let
that
us in.
Liberty. I was wondering too. I wonder where they get that from. Like,
Liberty?
yeah, I was trying to find on their about me. They didn't have anything, so I'm like,
Liberty
what's
Bibbity.
No, but they had a statue
of
of
Liberty?
At the front.
But then I also thought, I was like, maybe is it something with the Liberty Bell? Like in Philadelphia, that's a thing too. Maybe that's why they cheat. Who knows?
So I was looking at their website, and they're under the same owners as Bendy Walk and Local Bar.
Interesting.
Local bar.
Yeah.
Huh.
The local bar that we always go to.
Yeah, on High Street. I'm pretty sure
one
it's
that
the same
smells
owner.
like throw up half the time.
It do.
It do be smelling like throw up sometimes in there.
I hate every time I used to go there.
No, you didn't like it?
No.
What?
I like it.
That's
The
it. Always
vibes are
smelled
so
like
nice.
no. It always smelled like throw
No,
up.
not always. It's a 50-50 chance.
Not even 50-50. 75-25.
No, I think it's 50-50 that it smelled like throw up. And when it did smell like throw up, it was unbearable. But when it didn't, it was a great time.
That's cozy in there.
I like it. I've been there multiple times.
And their well drinks are affordable compared to like
heck
the
yeah.
other bars around. And they're big.
Yeah, it's Local Bar, the Go-Go,
What?
They own the Go-Go too?
Bendy Walk, Local Cantina, and there's a few other places.
That's crazy.
Dang, that is crazy.
I can't.
Also, Local Cantina is a big chain now, right? Too.
There's a couple locations, yeah. But I'm surprised that a place as good as the Go-Go is owned by a place the same people own a place as bad as Bendy Walk.
Bendy Walk wasn't that bad. I know you guys.
I have such bad connotations
it's
with
because our
Bendy
food
Walk.
was too spicy.
No, mine wasn't. I just didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the drink was okay because it got us drunk.
Yeah, I was gonna
And the
say
vibes
we
were
were
cool.
litty.
Oh yeah, that was a fun episode.
We were lit. But no, I don't know. I just when I think of Bendy Walk, it kind of makes me like
ugh.
like a little mad.
Yeah.
About it.
I'll
It's
drive.
so pretty.
I'll drive past it sometimes. I'm like, never eating there again.
But your food was good.
Mine was good. My dish was.
Then
And
why
I thought
would
the
you
vibes
never
were
eat
cool
there
because it's
again?
got the little tropical tiki.
It was good, but not something that I would go back for. Like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
can't
There's
see
better
being
Asian food in
messy.
Columbus.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. Same owners.
Multifaceted owner.
Yeah. When I saw Local Bar, I was like, what?
What?
That's crazy. And the Go-Go, it's all like those two just seem so random.
Yeah. But then and then Liberty Tavern, the vibes are more so when we walked in, because I didn't look up any images or anything, and it just looks like it's in a strip mall, so like it's hard to make out the vibes.
Yeah.
But I walked in, I was like, oh, this is similar to Kitchen Social vibes. Was what I was getting. Just the way they were dressed,
Yeah.
even kind of the setup and stuff. Some of the fare as well, like the food fare.
Mm-hmm.
So
Do you guys have any topics for today?
I do not.
Okay, well, I had one topic, and hopefully it just spins into conversation. But I was scrolling on Reddit. It's always Reddit, you know.
Mhm.
Then
Right.
like it'll suggest the
You're
main feed will
obsessed.
suggest you other popular posts, even in like subreddits that you might not necessarily have ever visited. So I got one the other day, and then I started digging through the subreddit, and I will hold my opinions to hear if you guys have ever heard of this. But have you guys ever heard of a passport bro?
A what?
A passport bro.
I have not.
No, never.
A passport bro?
A passport bro. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
like,
have heard of a
I-
passport, bro.
No,
I don't
I have
think
not.
so.
I've been trying to learn the ways.
No, David. Do you want to explain in layman's terms what a passport bro is? Then I can pull out the definition I Googled.
Okay, yeah. So from what I understand, a passport bro is a guy who gets no domestic hoes and so has to travel internationally to flaunt the Americanism and the ticket out and to try to get girls or even just buy them, you know, like hookers or
Yeah.
sex workers.
Yeah.
But,
in
like,
Thailand and
traveling-
Philippines.
Yeah, traveling for that purpose. It
Mhm.
almost seems like
To
that's
get
the main
hoes.
goal.
To get hoes.
Yep.
Have you heard of that concept before?
I mean, I've never heard of it, but I mean, I understand it.
Okay. Yeah, so for a more formal definition from Google AI, a passport bro is a term for Western men who travel to developing countries to seek out relationships with women, often with the goal of marriage and family, and who are perceived as seeking out women they see as more traditional or feminine. The term became popularized on platforms like TikTok and is often associated with accusations of exploitation and cultural misunderstandings. Some men embracing the label, describing themselves as digital nomads, while others
Bruh.
criticize the practice, arguing that it can be exploitative and a form of sex tourism.
Mm-hmm. I feel like passport bro is like not a good name for it.
What else would you call
I
it?
don't
It's
know.
like finance bro, but passport bro.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm following that logic.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's like, that's a passport bro.
I see.
So the reason I even came across this, which I had heard the term before, but I don't think I like fully dove into what it meant or really understood. But this post came up on my feed, and I tried to look for it again, but I'm guessing the original poster deleted it, so I couldn't find it. But it was suggested on my main feed, so I'm guessing it was just like a post that started to go viral on Reddit, and it was like this kid, and he was like just spent 12 days in Colombia, Argentina, blah blah blah. He listed like 3 different countries, and he's like went on 14 dates, closed the deal 9 times, and had pictures of all these girls that he went on dates with while he was there. And closed the deal, I'm assuming means he
Right.
Hooked
had
up with
sex
them.
with them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was just like, this is 1, disgusting, 2, crazy that he's posting it online and like
Did he post the
bragging about
pictures?
it. Yeah. Yeah. He put pictures of his Tinder profile and then pictures of like the girls' Tinder profiles along with pictures of him and the girl on their date together.
Oh my gosh,
As, like,
men are
proof that he
so
was with
weird.
them.
That is weird.
Yeah, and like all the comments beneath were like, "Oh, good job." Like, "Oh, what did you do to do this?" It was like people like supporting it, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is a real thing. And
Oh, it's like a whole community, I think.
yeah, and it was just insane to me and like blowing my mind. This, if anyone's interested to go look at it, the subreddit is called r/the passport bros. But I was like, is this really like, I've reached a dark corner of Reddit that I do not like. Basically.
I forget how weird people are. You know? Like, why don't you go do something productive?
Yeah, well,
What's more productive than making life? No, I'm kidding.
I feel like the weirdest part is gloating about it, like posting
Yeah.
about it. Like, I guess if you do it, whatever, it's weird. But being like, "Yo, look at all these girls I'm getting," it's like,
Well,
it
the
doesn't
fact
make
that
you
he
look
said
cool.
that he closed the deal and then like put the girls' pictures.
yes. And that's how he referred to it multiple times in the post as like closing the deal. And he's like, "Oh, I met these girls on Tinder. I met 2 of them in real life. I met these girls on this dating app." I'm just like, what? But it's okay. It's one thing to me if you're on vacation and
You happen.
you happen
to
to
go on a
meet somebody or go on a date, or you're like swiping while you're there, but like that's not necessarily the main intention of your
Yeah,
trip.
right.
You're there for the trip. But like this guy was specifically there to go on as many dates as possible and try to hook up with as many people as possible. And I'm just like, what?
Not to get an STD.
Well, that too,
Yeah.
but and then bragging about it, it's like, I don't know, you're kind of lame. Like you had to leave the country
Right.
to
Yeah.
do this. And I feel like it's common that when you're traveling, if you're a foreigner, you get more attention. So
Even if you have no riz.
yeah, even if you're
Yeah.
butt ugly.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's like one side of the coin is like it is crazy that they're gloating about it, but I think the reason they're gloating about it because there's probably also posts in the Reddit like, "Hey guys, in 3 months I'm going to this
Yes,
country.
there is.
Any tips on how to like?"
Literally, there's posts like that.
And so it's like a forum, like a community, which is like weird to think about too.
yeah.
I remember when I was in Mexico, my cousin's like, "Yeah, you have a American accent when you speak Spanish." He's like, "If you went out like to a club or the bar and people heard you speaking, they would talk to you just because of your accent."
It just gives me the heebie-jeebies that this
Mhm.
exists. Or like, I don't know, it's a thing. I will say some of the posts on there are just like, "Oh, I'm now an expat living in another country that I like the culture more and hoping to find a girlfriend or wife while I'm there." But it's like they're working there, they're living there. I feel like that's a
Yeah,
little different
It
than
is.
solely going to the country
Mhm.
with the goal of finding a wife on that trip or like hooking up with people on that trip. I don't know.
It's like a post, like a goodbye. He's like, "Guys, I'm hanging up the passport. I'm gonna just stay here in Argentina. I found a wife. I wish you all the best."
Yeah. And then it's funny. Well, I was like, how does anybody think this is like appropriate or a good thing? And then I found this article on knowledgeformen.com.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh no, this is going to be like super supportive of it. But it was surprisingly, from what I remember, a very neutral article that it just explains like why passport bros have happened. But one of the things they talked about in this blog was that passport bros sometimes have a rude awakening if they do end up finding a girlfriend or wife in another country and then they decide to move back to America with them, because the girl is like, well, wait a minute, there's hotter people or better people in this country than you. So now they revert back to being like I guess a loser in their home in America, and the girl's like, I could probably do better.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm here already. Like,
So
Right.
that's a risk. Don't bring her back to the States. You got to stay in her country forever.
Right, get her citizenship and then divorce.
Oh yeah, for her.
Yeah.
Well, and then it's like the show 90 Day Fiance is kind of, I mean, they could in theory be classified as passport bros if they went to that country to just get a wife.
yeah, I mean, obviously, it's scary all around too, because then you hear horror stories of like, again, I'm guessing there are posts on there too. I was doing my own independent research. Just
You don't even know this topic.
But yeah, there'll be like horror stories like, yeah, I met this girl on Tinder and was like, we went out, let's say like random place like DR or something. We're in the Dominican Republic. We're in the city. Met this girl, got her number, and was like, she invited me back to her place. And so I put it in the GPS, got a taxi, and it was like all back roads. There was no street lights. It was like in the hood or like kind of like the more rinky dink area. Like, yeah, just like
Sketchy area.
yes. And it's like a 45-minute drive, and they're like, I'm halfway through, like, I'm so scared, like, what is happening? And then you go and it's just like a concrete house. There's like a bed on the floor and stuff like that. And so that's a rude awakening for them. I think there was like a thing on Univision or something like that one time when I was home. And I was like, that is crazy that people are putting themselves out there, like risking so many things.
Yeah.
Right.
One, getting beat, drugged, robbed, getting an STD. I don't know. All of it is just like, dude, why? Just stay home and hit the gym. Like, get your Riz up, do
Right.
something, watch some videos. Like,
Right. Talk to people where you live. Find some hobbies.
join a book club.
Well, the safety thing is funny because as I was going through the subreddit, they were talking about a recent, or one of the articles I read and going through the subreddit referenced that I guess in Colombia recently there was an Italian man that was kind of doing that, and he got murdered and like chopped up.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Or I've seen, I don't know if these are like real or like whatever, but it's like, apparently they have a thing where they can inject you with something that paralyzes you for like 20 minutes. So it gives them enough time to like take your stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That is
there's so much shit
scary.
out there. Or even if you're just like, oh, let's do some drugs or something together, and then it's just like laced with something.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because
I
like
mean,
people who are
obviously-
willing to do that are also probably willing to try things to
Yeah.
quote unquote close the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Common sense isn't so common.
Putting themselves in risky situations.
And spending all that money for, yeah, because also, even if you bring a wife back and it works out, whatever, everyone, when you introduce a story to, I feel like they're going to be like side-eyeing you like, you're a
Yeah.
passport bro then. If it wasn't like, like you said, organic, like, oh, I just happened to be there and we ran into each other at a bookstore.
I do want to read a little bit of the article just so you can see, like, it was kind of, when I was first reading it, it was scary that they kind of seemed supportive of passport bros. So it starts with, meet the passport bro, a man redefining his American dream thousands of miles away. This movement isn't just about travel or temporary escapades. It's a profound shift in a life's pursuit, spanning romance, economics, and crucially, respect. Frustrated by a Western dating scene that demands he treats women like royalty while leaving him undervalued and tired of the wage slave grind despite his education, he's breaking free from what feels like an outdated version of the American dream. These men, known as passport bros, are pioneering a new kind of migration. They seek countries where relationships and societal dynamics haven't been heavily altered by modern societal shifts. They're looking for women who value traditional masculine qualities, qualities they feel are overlooked back home. The passport lifestyle is more than an escape. It's a deliberate journey toward being appreciated and valued. It's about discovering places where their efforts are acknowledged, allowing them to live their dignity and in true partnership. Allowing them to live with dignity and in true partnership. This is their path to genuine, balanced connections where they are not merely accepted, but cherished. I'm like, that's making it sound awfully good. Article,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
That's the hook. They got you hooked.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like these are going to be the masculine guys, though.
That's the thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's a funny way to set it up. If it's like, dude, the people who just like live on Reddit. I'm like, you know what? I'm
The
gonna join
incels.
this. Yep. Like this is kind of up my alley, you know.
It
I'm trying to.
actually, this article does say, it gives kind of a list of the men who seek the life beyond the West. So like the men typically that are passport bros. So it says 1, the underappreciated middle class man. 2, the retired hopeful romantic. 3, military veterans. 4, the startup entrepreneur. So, I mean, I feel like those categories all make sense, with the underappreciated middle class man being probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
But it's funny that when you were saying kept saying close the deal, it's like, oh yeah, that's also a finance bro.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I see those videos of like, it'll be videos of, I think it's like the Philippines or Thailand, I don't know, but it's like older white man.
Yes.
Who are
With
like,
like a really young, beautiful girl.
with like a young, beautiful girl, ethnic girl. And they'll just like be walking, holding hands and stuff. I'm like, it's weird.
They're just in love. Leave them alone.
He's just a retired hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't assume with everyone, but yeah, it was a little, it was a little weird to
You
see.
can't assume that, yeah. He's like
Yeah.
90.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just a guy who, even if that's what they think they want, I feel like they don't know, because if they've never been in like a relationship or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Because I watched I had a little 98 Day Fiance binge period, and I'd be watching them. I'm like, does the woman even like this guy?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, dude, it's one thing. It's like,
Dude,
obviously you
Big
come
Ed,
with money. Yeah,
when Big Ed was on it with, what's her face?
I forget her name,
I
but
forget her name
it's
too.
like, dude, you're so mean to him, and he's also still trying. Like, well, they're both mean to each other, you know, like.
Well, he was so gross. I don't blame her.
But yeah, it's like you said earlier, they don't know the culture. So what
Yeah.
do they think is going to happen? Like, oh, you're hot, I like you, it's going to work out.
That was one of like the pitfalls that I was reading that passport bros might not realize, is like they think these other cultures value more a traditional lifestyle of like the man provides for the woman, but they don't realize like there's so many cultural differences, like it's an entirely different country and culture,
Right.
Mhm.
that's not necessarily as straightforward as like the man provides for the woman and it all
Right.
works out. Like they just have everything very different.
Like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's just one factor out
Yeah.
of all these other differences.
Yeah, and it's hard to fit in with everything.
Yeah.
Oof.
I guess, do you guys think a very young woman could love a really old man? Or is it
Hmm.
money?
It's money.
Yeah.
Like-
Usually.
For example, there's this NFL coach.
Bill Belichick.
Yes, Bill Belichick.
Yes.
And- okay, but I do think his girlfriend is psycho.
She's psycho, but is it love or is it money?
Mm.
He's
Mm.
72.
Well, if she's
Guess
psycho,
how old she is?
24.
She's 24.
I mean, if she's psycho, it might be both.
That's the thing, is like normally I'd say it is money, but because she's crazy, she might actually love him. I don't know. But I don't even think he actually loves her. Like he's probably just like, yeah, she's hot and like
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool,
And
I
psycho.
bagged it.
and psycho. Brings some excitement to his life.
Yeah.
At 72 is crazy.
At 72.
Right.
And 72 and 24 is wild. He looks like her grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because she posted pictures of them, like she's dressed up as a mermaid and he's dressed up as a fisherman, and like she's in the ocean. And everyone is like seeing these pictures she posts of him and is like, why is he letting her post this? And I don't know, it's just weird because he's like a well-respected football coach,
Yeah.
and now it's like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, he's probably like, fuck it. I'm 72. I don't know what the hell this TikTok thing is, but
Yeah, he probably
Right.
doesn't know that everyone can
the
see all
extent
the-
and
I bet you
gravity
she
of the
censors a
social
lot of his
media.
stuff.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know. Like, she probably like controls like what he can see on his phone or not. I doubt the man is using Instagram.
No, I doubt he knows how to use
No.
social media, so he doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
care or know. I
Right.
do think she has a lot more power in the relationship than you would expect.
Hmm.
Recently, did you guys hear about the interview that he did?
No.
I heard
Yeah.
about it, but I didn't see it.
It's like they asked him like how they met or something like
Yeah,
that.
so he did an interview, I believe, with CNN, and it was supposed to be like a 20-minute interview or something. And as they're going through with the questions, the girlfriend is like off camera to the side at a table. But like, I guess throughout the interview, like the interview would ask a question, Bill Belichick would go to answer, and the girlfriend would like make commentary. But one of the questions that was asked is, how did you two meet? And she immediately is like, we're not answering that. And he's like, the interviewer's like, no. She's like, no. No. And
Dang.
it's just like a very awkward interview. I didn't watch the
is.
full thing, but I at least watched that clip.
At what point do you call APS? Adult Protective Services.
Adult Protective Services.
Yeah, but afterwards, I think even the interviewer said like that was the most awkward interview I've ever done.
Well, it's weird because
Dang.
he's like a grown ass man.
Yes.
And like for her to like just control him like that, it's weird. Like if I was his daughter, like it would not be okay with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, this is a coach. Like, he's the leader.
Right.
And she's over here like,
I mean, he's probably like, I'm old. By the time I die, like, she's not going to be that old. Like, no matter what, I'm still going to be with someone hot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because what, even if it's 20 years, she's still 44 and he's 90.
90.
Look at so I googled like how did they meet, and it says reportedly met on a flight in February 2021. Their conversation sparked over a philosophy textbook Hudson was reading, and Belichick even signed the book. While they initially had a friendly connection, their relationship blossomed into a romantic one.
In 2021, that means she was 20 years old.
Yeah,
Damn.
creepy. She was like, daddy.
Another thing that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
She definitely has daddy issues.
Oh, yeah.
Grandpa issues, bro.
Just issues. What if it's in reverse?
A really old woman and a young
true.
boy.
Yeah.
No, at some point it's still like
Cher?
if she was
So
like,
you mean Cher and her really
Yeah,
young?
it-
Yeah, that was weird.
She-
She's so hot still, though. It's crazy how hot she is.
no, she's like old though.
But she's so
She's still
hot.
hot.
Yeah, I mean, but like she was dating like the really young model guy or
Yeah,
something.
he was like late 20s or something. And she's, I mean,
She's like 70.
yeah, but like,
I think that's still weird.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it
Like
definitely is odd.
72, and he's 24. He doesn't know any better.
He definitely
Or
also
maybe
is
he
in it for
does.
the money.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
He's still getting some.
Yeah, being the brace. Well, she talks about, she's like, yeah, we're very active. Yeah, Cher's getting to it.
Oh no.
Good for Cher.
Good for sure. I'm just like,
Sharing is caring.
I'm just like, someone, you could find someone a little closer in age. Like a 40 to 50 year age gap is nuts.
No,
is
that
crazy.
it's not okay. Like you can have a thing for older women or older men, but I just feel like that is like it's not a good age gap.
No.
Mm.
Age is not just the number.
Yeah, you just have like different values or likes and dislikes. Like,
Yeah.
listen
Like
to completely different music.
The power dynamic cannot be equal. Like
Correct.
you can't have
Mhm.
that much similar interests either. Like I don't know.
Exactly.
It doesn't seem like it can be genuine.
I'd like to see a conversation between them.
Oh, I'd love to be in a
Right.
fly
In
a
a
fly
home.
on a wall in a age gap couple home, I guess.
Right. See what it's like.
Oof.
Oof.
Yeah. Okay, what about the opposite way if it's a passport girl?
Hot.
Hot. Like the girl's going to a different country to find
I feel like
men.
that. I feel like your chances of getting raped or taken,
Yeah.
Yeah.
are high.
That's
Yeah, it's
way more
definitely scary.
dangerous, I
Mhm.
feel.
Definitely.
because men are scary.
True. Picking the bear.
Mm-hmm.
See, but I feel that if a woman traveled to another country and found a man,
It's less frowned upon.
yeah, but I feel like the power dynamic is different. Like I feel like the woman has power, but if it's a guy going to get a woman, I still feel like the woman has the power.
I don't think the woman has the power when it's a passport bro.
You think?
Yeah, I think it's the passport bro. But I do feel slightly less weird about it if it's a passport girl. Like I'm just like, okay. I mean, I guess if
because
you're
boys are weird
yeah.
and
'cause I-
unpredictable.
Well, I feel like girls aren't gonna make a subreddit and brag about it.
Right.
That's true.
Girls are too.
They're gonna make a group chat.
Right.
Yeah, they'll keep it in the group chat at least.
Also, a couple episodes ago, weren't you guys talking about that group chat on Facebook? The exposing one? They're gonna make a Facebook group.
That could be true. But
Right. Look up on Facebook passport girls or something. I don't know.
Ugh,
What,
no.
what would you
Crazy.
call it?
The
Yeah.
passport
The passport girls.
Not passport
chicks.
gals.
Passport gals.
Okay, someone posted on the r/the passport bros subreddit why we do not generally see passport girls. And says, I want to get some perspective as to why we generally do not see passport girls, where young women travel to other countries to find a relationship. Someone commented, women marry up and women do not propose. Both conditions explain why such a thing is almost unheard of. Women do not benefit from going overseas like men because they're not interested in supporting another man. Men in most parts of the world are traditional, so they would not be interested in being supported by a woman. I guess that's true.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
as a woman, I'm not gonna go to a third world country to find a man that I can take care of.
Yes, and also likewise, because we were talking about the culture of the place and how that's a culture shock too. It's like, I feel like the men would be like machista or something about it. Like, once I go back to America, I'm gonna work, okay, and then things are gonna be different. And I feel like it's just always gonna be like a clashing dynamic.
Yeah, this one says women generally seek higher status men and men seek younger and more attractive women. That's why passport bros travel from richer to poorer jurisdictions. But I feel like a girl could go to like a European city that's not third world and look for a man. That would be more likely.
I've seen Facebook reels about couples like that. They're like, yeah, we met when I was studying abroad and
yeah,
I decided to just stay. And then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that is cute.
But again, she was studying abroad. So
Yes,
not
it was like a genuine connection.
Not necessarily the intention to bag a man while she's
Yeah.
there.
Wild stuff.
Would you be a passport bro?
No.
What if it means you'll find your shorty?
No.
It's like, no.
Well, it's like for the price of an airline ticket, I know a couple sides of town where I could get a couple sealed deals. No, I'm just kidding. But it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's got to be, like you said, the underappreciated or whatever middle class man. So got some money, or like the finance bros who got a lot of money, but probably less
But no
time.
bitches.
And no bitches. And no time. And so they're like thinking of this as a shortcut, but then it becomes a long cut because of the culture clash. And it's like, you're just going to put in way too much effort to make it work. Also, I feel like a lot of them say they're looking for love, but they're probably just looking for fun.
Yeah. I feel like if they're looking for love and a real long-term relationship, I respect it a little more. But the ones that, like the one I saw that's literally just going to hook up with so many people, I'm like...
And showing off the roster. And
ugh, disgusting. You're the worst type of person ever.
Yeah. But even if you were looking for love, why would you need to fly to another country for that?
Values, Oscar. Did you not listen to the article?
Because
The values of another country that they've
That they've never been to.
Yeah.
They believe in their same values.
it's because their love language is any language other than English.
I would like just rather stay single than go to another country to look for someone.
Yeah, I like the peace. And I feel like, yeah, introducing someone from a different culture and I don't know, you know nothing of their family dynamics, you know nothing of anything. It's probably not going to be very, very peaceful unless you really do find the one. But I don't know. Not worth the headache. I don't think I could
Sounds like more work.
But I got time because I could become the retired hopeless romantic.
Yeah. You
So I
can
got
become
time.
a passport bro at any time in your life, David. You have all the rest of the time in the world.
Be the Bill Belichick of South America.
For real. The Patriots.
What else?
Well, I already told Sam, and I think I told David this yesterday. I was at the restaurant, and my manager comes up to me. He's like, hey, can you take over this table? The girls think that their server's being racist to them, and they asked for a new server.
Wait, you didn't tell me this.
I didn't tell you this?
No.
Oh, yeah, yesterday. And so I was like, all right. And then I come over to this table, and the girls already have all their food and their drinks. And I'm like, hey, I'm your new server, so just let me know if you need anything. And they're like, oh, my God, thank you for checking in on us. They're like, you're so nice.
What race were the
Yeah.
girls?
They were black.
Oh, okay.
They were, yeah.
I was like, were they white girls? Because then why would
No, so they were black.
Imagine.
And they were Muslim, and their server was a white guy. And
do you think he was being racist?
I don't think he was being racist. I think he's like, he was also the bartender, and so I don't think he was as attentive to them because he also had to make drinks, and they probably felt some sort of way and were like, he's ignoring us. We think he's being racist.
Crazy.
So I ended up taking over that table and literally did nothing. I just gave them water and then cashed them out. And I'm like, all right, y'all have a good night. And they're like, you were so good. Thank you. I'm like,
She's like, I literally
talked to you
didn't do
twice.
anything. That's crazy.
yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like I would never have the guts to complain to a manager and say
And
racism.
say like, I think he's being racist.
Yeah, I would just be
Yeah.
like, can we get a new server? They're not really attending us.
Right.
But they had to drop the R.
Yeah, if it was like racism, if it got to the point where I wanted to bring it up, I'd probably be like, just bring me the check. I'm leaving. You know?
Yeah. Like, I just want to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they didn't say like why they felt like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I
so
feel
like,
like- or
I'm
maybe-
definitely not asking.
Yeah.
Or maybe he said something. Like,
No, I
have you
don't
ever had
know.
an interaction with the bartender?
I have.
And like,
Well, he
he's
was
cool?
he was actually my server once when I went there, and I was like, yeah, he is like kind of nowhere. I'm out of water. I need some water.
Like just
okay.
not necessarily an attentive server.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe he was being more relaxed with me because I worked there, and then when I heard that yesterday, I'm like, oh yeah, he was probably busy making drinks, just not around. But he was pissed. He was like,
Ooh.
fuck those girls.
Racist.
And then they didn't tip well, understandably. But I mean, I made my $10. I didn't do nothing.
So you got his tip.
$10.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they weren't gonna tip good, you know. So
Why?
just because they were already, like,
Canceled.
No.
Oscars canceled.
Cancel.
because I was talking to them and they're like, yeah, the food's good and the drink's good, but you know, they're like, they didn't say the restaurant specifically. They're like, but yeah, you know, when you go out, you want to have a good experience, and it's not just about the food and drinks, it's also about the service. I'm like, yeah, I definitely agree with that. So I'm like, they're definitely indirectly talking about the other server, like, yeah, this food's good, drinks are good, but not the service. So I just knew they weren't gonna tip good.
And you scream from like, so the he can hear you from across the restaurant. Yeah, service, real good service is really important.
Like, if they were my table from the beginning, they would have tipped good. I just know they would.
okay.
Because you would have given them good service.
Exactly.
Oscar's
Okay.
the best server in the entire world.
No.
Yeah,
No.
he's
He's like-
gloating, and then he gets upset when we call him the best server in the entire world. Take a compliment.
Well, there was funny because there's one weekend, there was like 3 weekends, I was given the exact same section, and I'm like, why am I always in the same location? And then I hear the host who's training another host, and he's like, yeah, we always put our best server in this section. I'm like, that's my section.
Damn, we should get Oscar a trophy for the best server in the world.
No. Though I did have a table on, what day was it? Saturday? Whatever, it doesn't matter. It was a guy, a woman, and their 2 daughters. And the daughters are probably like 6 and 5. And the guy's telling me that their kitchen has been under renovation for 4 months. And so they've been eating out 4 or 5 times a week. And he's like, in those 4 months, this restaurant has been our best experience of all the places we've been to.
Let's go.
And I'm like, oh, like, I'm so glad to hear that. So they're like, yeah, great experience, great food, overall, just great. So I'm like, nice.
They said we'll be back even when our kitchen is done.
Yeah.
Oscar's a great server.
The best.
I do
like that.
think the board is dying, so I think it's good. I think we should have enough for a full episode, hopefully, if
Wrap
it's a
it
little
up.
shorter than normal. Sorry, guys. But we're going to wrap it up. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Eating Good Pod. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.